Hey guys, imagine this. As fresh level 40, you join your first Rootland match, get clapped and not even know what happened, or what you were supposed to do. Stick around, cause in this video I will share with you everything I know about Rootland. Who the fuck was that? Was that a player? This video is meant for new players, but even if you are experienced, you might find value in this video later on. We will go over the basics of this mode first, real quick, then I will go over strategy and tips that I use for every Rootland. It proved to be rather successful regardless of PvP skills and even level of our gear. That being said, I will talk about gear and pure PvP skill later on in this video, so let's get started. Chapter 1 Rootland 101 Basics. Rootland is simply said a Tarkov mode. Goal is to loot and extract. We want loot, right? We can loot the map and other players' inventory. The main difference here is our gear that we use, equipped weapon and armor, will be safe completely. We can't lose it upon death. The only thing that player can lose are items in our inventory/backpack. This alleviates majority of the pressure, so take it easy. Even if you get clapped, your main progress stays. That said, upon joining a match, a player gets a random spawn and a single task to loot X amount of boxes. Upon completing such task, a player will be able to extract at randomly selected extraction point. During any point of your journey, a player can be assassinated by other players, and even in some cases by those sneaky annoying raider NPCs. That is the constant danger that lurks around Rootland. Now that we are done with these basics, let me show you the magic. Chapter 2. Everything I know. My strategy. Okay, so here we are. Just spawned at the Rootland. The first thing that I do, and I recommend that you adapt this as a habit, is check the map. See if there are any activities on the map, aka marked buildings. This is a crucial info you wanna check every minute at least. If a player fully clears a house, such a location will be marked on the map for everyone to see. Such info on its own can mean many things, but it would be the best to assume that such player is present there. It is time for you to decide. Do you ignore this information? Do you go for him and initiate PvP? Or do you go the completely opposite way and stay out of trouble? Well, in my opinion, in this case, since we just spawned, we do not have loot to lose. Maybe like 5 heals that we brought into the match. In other words, this is the perfect time to have PvP, so I would always be happy to hunt down the player that gave away his position. And remember, if you happen to be that guy who is giving away his position, and I see this mistake all the time, many other players will take advantage of that. This brings me to the ultimate tip that propelled my success to the highest level in Rootland. Never give away position by fully clearing houses. Last thing that you want is to have 1 or perhaps 3 players rushing towards you. Simple. Either fully juke zombies without firing a single shot, this is the best way and safest way, or take down only the most annoying zombies, or the ones that can't be baited outside of the building, such as for example bloater that shoots gas at us, or a screamer guy. Or you can even take down all of the zombies but just leave 1 alive. As long as 1 zombie is with us in the house, that house can't be cleared, thus can't be marked for other players to see. And so, once you perfect this sneaky way of clearing houses, you will end up completing a full match of Rootland without leaving a single trace of your activity on the map. This is especially needed towards the end of Rootland, when all you wanna do is loot last couple of boxes and extract. Now let's flip this. What if you want to bait others? You can use the same logic and clear house on purpose just to see other players rushing towards you. You can use this to set up ambush but I do not use this myself, as there is no guarantee that anyone would take that bait, so it could prove as a waste of time. And to be honest, some players do not even pay attention to the map. Still, keep this in mind as possible strategy whenever you're hunting down other players. They might just set up a trap for you, so approach them carefully and observe. That brings me to the next tip. Now that we covered reading a map, let's cover here reading a game information itself. Okay, let's say that you are hunting down a player, but he only cleared one house, and from that point he gave away no other map information. You go to that position, let's say town, you find a good vantage point and observe. Look for any activity at first. If none is present, look for open doors, broken windows. Check if other houses have been looted and try to understand that player's movement. And be patient, maybe you will hear gunshots shortly, or perhaps you will even see him. Either way, if you remained hidden, you get to ambush him, which, if you are not me, would lead to easy kill. On the other hand, if you just rush into him, it's on. 1v1 and anything is possible. If you feel a bit reckless, there is nothing wrong with some active PvP duel, but majority of PvP in this game looks like ambush or get ambushed. Again, observe and be patient when checking out marked positions. Next tip, use a Recon Scout, as it is the best weapon for PvP. It holds massive damage per shot, allowing you to two-shot most players into the body, as well as to initiate ambush from 3 kilometers away. As a backup weapon for PvP, you could use anything else, shotgun, SMG, or just a simple AK-47. Either way, we will use this secondary weapon only when the player is close, whenever we are fighting him close range. For any other scenario, Recon Scout is gonna be the king in PvP. While we speak about the gear, let's address this. Gear level is important, but not a determining factor, as if you do apply strategy of remaining hidden or sneaky, you will get to choose who do you fight and when do you fight. When I was a fresh level 40, I had not many upgrades to my gear. I chose to stay away from others and avoid them as plague. However, as soon as I got a Recon Scout at level Rare +3, which is equivalent to normal +4 or SR +2, I was the one chasing PvP, especially early game hunting for players. Armor is not so important, but it can save you if you do get ambushed. So look at it as a bonus, not something that is necessary, but something that is good to have overall, increase your survivability. There will be a time when you get ambushed yourself, even though you do not give away your position. Yes, that can happen. People might hear the gunshots if they are nearby, or they might just get lucky to run into you. What then? First shot is fired, and you lost half HP. You need to do control, 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 which means dodge, dodge, dodge. This is the only thing that you need to do at this point. You need to react to it by just spamming dodge. This is going to give you immunity, as well as movement to certain direction. Yes, in between dodges there will be a brief time when you do not have such immunity, but it would be hard for that player to perfectly time his shot. After the first or second dodge you might even process the direction from which player is shooting at you, and it's up to you to decide if you want to turn around and fight him back, or if you want to just keep dodging until the end of this world. Either way, if you do survive getting ambushed, consider that you are lucky, as in my opinion, that should always end with failure. But still, don't give up. I mean, anything is possible. Worst thing that you can do is just stay still or just simply run. That said, we need to avoid getting ambushed, so let's proceed. How else can we avoid getting ambushed? You can also use the loot and run strategy, where we basically loot 1 or 2 houses in the area and then we just run away to the next village. I never, and I mean never, just jump from one house to the another house that is nearby. I never fully clear these towns or villages or whatever you're talking about, except if it's a small village, if there are like only 3 buildings, sure, we can do this pretty quickly. But what I do instead is I pick and choose houses that are easier to clear, that have more boxes, less zombies, and while I'm making such decisions, I just run away from the previously looted house. That is going to make a whole lot of harder for other players to do any kind of a hunting of us or even ambushes. And while you do all that, remember to still not give away your position by fully clearing houses. On this note, best way to avoid getting ambushed is to ambush others yourself before they get a chance. This brings me back to my first note: whenever you spawn, check the map and hunt down those players. Now, let's talk about a skill. PvP skill, or a skill of one player, plays a huge role here, but do not think too much about it. When I had my first couple of Rootland matches, I was rather rusty and slow. I had no clue about mechanics here. Still, I had my fun over there. And with the time invested and repetition, you get to become more comfortable while fighting other players. Heck, I would even hear gunshots and not be able to determine where are they coming from. You could say that I was clueless, and still, in some way, I am still clueless. So take it easy, and with time you will become better, you will get that PvP skill, you will be more comfortable, you will panic less, and you will have much more control over the game information, as well as, if it comes to it, even that kind of a one-on-one PvP duel scenario. These can be very fun. But yeah, remember, we do not really lose here a whole lot of loot, so everything is good. Anyway, that is gonna be it, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care, bye bye, peace.